Hey everyone, in this video I'll quickly break down what an Ansible playbook is, how it works, and why it's essential for Ansible automation. So, what's Playbook? It's a YAML file where you describe what you want to happen on your servers. For example, install packages, or you want maybe copy files from Ansible to managed host, or even you want to restart services, something like this. Alright, let's break this down in the simplest way possible. On the screen you see how an Ansible playbook is structured. A playbook is just a script file where you write what we want Ansible to do. Inside a playbook we have a place. A play is basically a section of script. It tells Ansible which servers we want to configure and what tasks we want to run on those servers. Each play contains tasks. A task is a single action, like installing packages, creating a user, or starting a service, and every task uses a module. A module is a tool that actually does the work on the server. For example, the U module installs packages on Red Hat systems. The apt module installs packages on Debian or Ubuntu, and the user module manages users. Playbook the whole script. Play the part of the script that targets host. Task a single step to do something. Module the engine that makes that step happen. That's the basic structure of how Ansible works under hood. Simple, clean and powerful. Let's little bit speak about in which case we have to use two plays. We need two plays because they operate in a different environments with different purposes and require different execution context. A single play cannot correctly handle both tasks. In example, you see that in the first play we wanna install NGINX, and at the same time we wanna to tag in Netbox that we have a new web server. If I'd say more detailed, in first play runs in remote servers. We point here web servers as you can see, and in the same time we point that we wanna use higher privileges. It become yes option. It doesn't exist, and the second play, as you can see, is completely essential differences between them. If you see, the second play runs locally on your control machine where Ansible is located. There is host, local host. It means that Ansible host where its play executed, connection type of local, and its play, as you can see, sent to Netbox API with method post and tagging server as an NGINX web server. And as you can see, there is no necessary to have a higher privileges to this action. Now let's talk about modules. This is where Ansible actually does real work. A module is a small piece of code that implements a specific function. It is a part of Ansible that performs action on the target system. When we write a task in a playbook, we are not writing commands directly. Instead, every task calls a module and passes parameter to it. For example, the YAM module installs packages on Red Hat systems, the apt module installs packages on Debian or Ubuntu, and the user module manages users on a system. Now let's separate Ansible modules into two big groups: standard modules and non-standard modules. First, standard built-in modules. These modules come with Ansible by default. You don't need to install anything extra, and you don't need additional dependencies. For example, the apt module is a standard module. When you use it to install NGINX, Ansible run this task directly on the target nodes, non-standard modules. These modules are not included with Ansible by default. They usually come from external collections or are written by users. Examples include Netbox modules, AWS modules, Kubernetes modules, and the community collection. To use them, you must install the collection first using Ansible Galaxy. The second group is the custom modules, and now we run a real-world playbook. Now let me demonstrate to you a quick demo, a simple web server deployment with Ansible Playbook. Playbook that install NGINX, run it, and then paste in it. Okay, here the play target is a Linux group defined in your inventory. Escalation privileges with sudo required for installing packages in my defined system directories. Let's try and play this playbook. Command Ansible Playbook, point here inventory. Let's execute. Missing sudo password. If you want to add sudo password from console, you can add ask sudo pass. Ask become pass. Ask become pass. And here point, enter your sudo password. So we have completely ended task. NGINX is installed, the service is running, a custom HTML page is deployed. Now let's look at the playbook output and understand what Ansible is telling us. First, Ansible runs the gathering facts. It shows OK will means Ansible successfully collected system information. Next, we see install NGINX. Here status is changed. This tells us that NGINX was not installed before, so Ansible made a change on the server and install it. Then we have start and enable NGINX. The result is OK, meaning the service was already running and enabled. Ansible checked the state, saw that everything was correct and didn't need to change anything. After that, deploy index.html shows changed. This means the file on the server was created or updated to match what the playbook described, and summarizing information. OK, change it. OK, let's go to the server and check if Ansible did all tasks to aware that was smoothly correctly installed. As you can see, NGINX is installed. Now check if it enabled and started is enabled, and check if file was created in folder that was in playbook. Let's see. Hello from Ansible web server. As you can see, system is already in desired state, server was modified. Please hit the like and subscribe. Thank you for attention. Bye bye.